Legacy returns, a new chapter begins, and the spirit of the dojo is alive and well. Hey everyone, welcome back to Movies on the Break. I'm Jason, and today we're stepping back onto the map for Karate Kid Legends, directed by Jonathan Entwistle, with a cast that bridges generations, including Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and Ben Wong. This film blends old school discipline with new energy, all wrapped in all wrapped in the familiar intensity and competition and mentorship. Respect, balance, legacy. Let's talk about what this latest entry brings to the fight. Karate Kid Legends opened in theaters on May 30th, 2025 with a budget of $45 million. So far, during its 4-week theatrical run, it has earned $51.5 million domestically and $50.8 million internationally, making a worldwide total of $102.3 million. Its opening weekend saw it earn $20.3 million, finishing number 3 in the box office, behind the likes of 2025's Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, numbers 1 and 2 respectively. Its most recent weekend, June 27th through the 29th, saw it earn $1 million, finishing the weekend at number 10 in the box office. Mr. Han is the Reverend Sifu, or master, of a large Wuguan Kung Fu school in Beijing, China, with many young students learning his ancient way of Kung Fu. Among them is his great-nephew Li Fong, a quiet teenager living in the Wuguang and hiding from his mother, a doctor who soon arrives to bring him back. She accepts a job position in New York City and makes Li promise to give up martial arts and violence before they leave China, after Li's brother was stabbed to death by thugs led by his defeated rival. Li struggles to adjust and unable to make friends at school. He meets Mia Lipani, the daughter of Victor Lipani, a former boxer turned traditional Italian pizzeria owner. Li and Mia develop a romantic relationship, but they are confronted by Connor Day, Mia's aggressive ex-boyfriend and champion fighter, at a local dojo known for its underground style karate competitions. Connor violently beats Li, prompting his mother to assign him a tutor named Alan, whom Li befriends. Li eventually clashes again with Connor, though he defends himself. Connor is a stronger fighter. Li attempts to use a flying kick he once learned from his older brother, but Connor counters it, exploiting Li's vulnerability midair, defeating him. One night, Li witnesses Victor being attacked by thugs sent by his creditor O'Shea, who also happens to own the Demolition Dojo and is Connor's karate sensei. Forced to intervene, Li defeats the attackers. Grateful, Victor confides in Li that he once boxed professionally, and planning a comeback to pay off his debt and save the pizzeria, asks Li to train him. Though hesitant at first, Li agrees, believing he will not be fighting himself. Li later becomes Victor's employee at his pizzeria. During Victor's comeback match, the opponent, following orders from O'Shea, knocks him out with illegal hits, sending Victor to a hospital where Li's mother works. Li, paralyzed by memories of his brother's death, fails to step in, earning Maya's disappointment. Avoiding Mr. Han's calls, Li finally reconnects with Mr. Han when Mr. Han arrives in New York. Learning the truth, Mr. Han encourages Li to enter the upcoming Five Boroughs tournament, both to help his friends and to confront his past. Han visits Los Angeles to ask Daniel LaRusso for help, revealing that he once stayed at Mr. Miyagi's home and was inspired by the stories of Daniel's journey. Though hesitant, Daniel joins them in New York. Li trains under both Kung Fu from Mr. Han and Miyagi-Do karate defense from Daniel, while bonding with his tutor, Alan, who has just lent Li his rooftop garden with pet pigeons as his makeshift training ground. Mr. Han and Daniel develop a new variation of Li's brother's flying kick, a feint that lures his opponent into a counterattack, which Lee can then dodge and reverse. After many failed attempts, Lee finally masters the move. In the tournament finals held on a rooftop, Lee and Connor face off in an intense 8-point match. Tied at 7, Lee lands the final blow using the adapted flying kick, winning the match and overcoming his fear. Connor retaliates, but Lee swiftly defeats him and shows mercy, earning him Connor's respect. Later, Victor opens a second pizzeria location with Maya, and Mr. Han returns to China. A pizza delivery sent by Lee as a thank you gift reaches Los Angeles, where Daniel shares a slice with Johnny Lawrence, who mocks the idea of ordering New York pizza to LA, claiming West Coast pizza is better, and pitches a new business idea, a dojo-themed pizzeria called Miyagi-Do, much to Daniel's chagrin. Now let's look at the cast and some of their other roles they've had. Jackie Chan as Mr. Han. Other roles for Jackie Chan include Lee in the Rush Hour franchise, Monkey in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, and Eddie Yang in The Medallion. Ralph Macchio as Daniel LaRusso. Other roles for Ralph Macchio include Officer Haddix in the TV show The Deuce, Archie Rodriguez in the TV show Ugly Betty, and Bill Gambini in My Cousin Vinny. Bill Wong as Li Fong. Other roles for Ben Wong include Jacob Zhang in 2024's Mean Girls, Jin Wong in the TV show American Born Chinese, and Guy in Good Egg. Marco Zhang as Young Li. The only other role Marco Zhang has had is Dueño Bazaar in the TV miniseries 1992. Joshua Jackson as Victor Lipani. Other roles for Joshua Jackson include Cole Lockhart in the TV show The Affair, Pacey Witter in the TV show Dawson's Creek, and Blaine Tuttle in Cruel Intentions. Sadie Stanley as Mia Lipani. Other roles for Sadie Stanley include Megan Landry in the TV show Cruel Summer, Bree B in the TV show The Goldbergs, and Kim Possible in 2019's Kim Possible live action movie. Ming Na Wen as Dr. Fong. Other roles for Ming Na Wen include Mulan in Mulan 1 and 2, Chun Li in 1994's Street Fighter, and the headmistress in Pearl. Aramis Knight as Connor Day. Other roles for Aramis Knight include Bean in Ender's Game, JJ in Baby Blue, and MK in the TV show Into the Badlands. Wyatt Oleff as Alan. Other roles for Wyatt Oleff include Charlie in the TV show City on Fire, Stanley Uris in 2017's It, and young Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy. Shawnette Renee Wilson as Ms. Morgan. Other roles for Shawnette Renee Wilson include Mina Okafor in the TV show The Resident, Stephanie Reed in the TV show Billions, and Donna in The Luckiest Man in America. Tim Rozon as O'Shea. Other roles for Tim Rozon include Doc Holliday in the TV show Winona Earp, The Magician in Terror Train 1 and 2, and C.J. Malcolm in Dakota. Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi in archival footage. Before his passing in November of 2005, other roles for Pat Morita include Mike Wu in the TV show The Mystery Files of Shelby Wu, the Emperor in Mulan 1 and 2, and the Toy Master in Babes in Toyland. William Zabka as Johnny Lawrence. Other roles for William Zabka include Kevin in The Man in the Silo, Milton in Where Hope Grows, and Rick in Hot Tub Time Machine. You know, I love the flashback we get to young Daniel and Mr. Miyagi at the beginning. I feel like it kind of sets the stage for the movie. And I also love that we get an explanation of how Han knows Miyagi and in turn knows Daniel. Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and Ben Wong absolutely delivered. The entire cast did, but those three were in top form. The fight scenes were so well choreographed throughout, and I loved the 3-on-1 fight with Lee fighting three guys who were going to shake up Victor. It was really fun to watch. Aramis Knight was perfect as the bully for Lee. He was so well casted. Sadie Stanley as Maya, who becomes the love interest for Lee, was so well cast. Her and Ben Wong have such great chemistry. Wyatt Olaf as the tutor and eventual wingman for Lee was a great casting choice as well, I think. The story of how Lee's brother was killed was heartbreaking, and how we almost see that moment mirrored with Victor made me worried there for a bit. I love the way they edited the fights in the Five Boroughs tournament. The overlay of how the rules are and the little pop ups when points were scored were fantastic, as was the countdown to the tournament. I laughed pretty hard when Han and Daniel were just throwing Lee to the floor in various ways. It was actually pretty comical to watch. This movie has a ton of heart, quite a bit of comedy, and I think it could set the stage for a sequel if Sony wants it. Also, seeing William Zabka in the scene right before the credits roll was absolutely fantastic. Now, I did find some fun facts and trivia, but not very much. But here's what I did find. Ralph Macchio was 63 at the time of this film's release, 12 years older than Pat Morita was when The Karate Kid was released in 1984. As this movie is set after the events of Cobra Kai, the film's original release date was pushed back 5 months to accommodate for the Cobra Kai season finale's release. Despite being released 3 months after the series finale of Cobra Kai, there is a 3-year gap between that finale and the start of this film. This is Jonathan Entwistle's feature film directorial debut. He was also born the same year that the original Karate Kid came out in 1984. This is the first and as of 2025 only film in the franchise to be rated PG-13. And that wraps up my thoughts on Karate Kid Legends, a film that honors the past while carving out a new path, blending nostalgia with fresh perspective and plenty of heart. But this journey isn't stopping here. I'll also be going back to review the earlier entries in the franchise, including the original classics and the 2010 reboot, because every story has a beginning, and this legacy deserves a full look. Thanks for watching Movies on the Brain. I'm Jason, and I'll see you next time. No mercy, just movies.